What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executive's View. I'm your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, and this is the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and I do appreciate that. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place, man. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok. We're doing big things in their places. I definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I don't do this by myself. I got a slew of brothers that are sitting here ready to chop it up, talk about everything around the world of sports. The homie Villain's in the building. What's going on, Villain? How we doing this evening, sir?
Super. What's up? I was on mute. I don't know why, but I didn't say anything. What's up? I'm in the building. What up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to see you, my dude, man. So you've dug out of the snow. I say you dug out. You dug out, huh?
Yeah, my back is killing me, so I'm living proof, like group home.
The homie Larry's in the building. What's going on, Larry? How you doing, sir?
Man, what's good, fellas?
You already know, big dog. You already know, man. Long time no see. What was it, 24 hours?
Maybe not even that.
Not even that. I feel like kind of Houston-y, man. I got the whole Buc-ee's joint on, man.
I was just about to say, man, like, are they like working on a sponsorship deal, man? You know, we need to put that out in the atmosphere. Anybody watching that's a Buc-ee's CEO, you know, Aaron is a fun fan of Buc-ee's.
Frequent patron of the establishment. Out here in Harrisonburg. Yeah. First and foremost, I'm mad at y'all because y'all didn't tell me about all this stuff. All y'all said was that you go in there and get lost, man. I've been in that joint so many times.
We gave you the warning. You didn't heed the warning.
Do you not know me but at all? Like, come on now, my guy.
Barry, didn't me and Steve give him the warning? We told him. Said, don't do it. Run away.
Warning.
They didn't. Yeah. Every morning I'm in that gym with that little breakfast burrito, steak burrito. Oh my God!
You defeating the purpose, man. What are you?
Oh my God! Anywho, let's get this moving, man. CK's in the building. What's going on, CK? How we doing, sir? He on mute. Let's not
on mute.
You had everybody on mute, sir.
Oh, everybody. I just said something really nice about all of y'all, but nobody heard it, so it is what it is.
You know what's going to happen is we're going to get a message at like 4 a.m. on the thread, him just being nice and courteous, but we ain't going to hear that joint until 8 a.m. So, but right. Anywho, man, I ain't going to waste everybody's time, man. We got a lot to get to, not a lot of time to get to it, man. I wanted to take a little bit of time at the front half of tonight's show and kind of talk a little baseball, man. We got spring trainings in full swing. We got teams that are, trotting out guys and, kind of seeing prospects. The Dodgers are doing Dodger things already. Undefeated right now in spring ball. The Giants are looking pretty decent. The Nationals are 3-0. Astros are, and I'm scrolling. They're 0-2.
We don't do that. We're not looking at.
I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. And
no,
obviously,
you're not taking us on a good journey. You're not taking me on a good journey.
Let me drive the bus. And the Yankees at 3-2. Again, it's a much ado about nothing. Getting guys out there, getting the sweat, and seeing who can fill the positions this time, the third. But the point of today's episode is to break down the AL East, and kind of look ahead and kind of see what we like, what we don't like. What teams can kind of break out and do this, that, and the third. Last year, the who was it? It was the Toronto Blue Jays won the division. And so I wanted to get everybody's opportunity to kind of talk a little bit AL East. Three of the four of us here are fans of the AL East, actually fans of the same team. So Larry, I'm gonna let you bat lead off here. Talk to me, man. When you look at the AL East, where's your head at?
In the AL West.
I figured as much.
I could care less who wins the AL East.
Not how much wins the AL East, but just storylines and what do you see coming out of spring ball? I mean, I'm not saying you need to be.
I see the Blue Jays winning the division again. I mean, I would love it if the Orioles could get right, but that'd probably be the only reason why the Yankees don't finish third because the Orioles can't seem to get right. Mm-hmm. But Yeah, I'll let y'all handle this one because I have a little bit of a hatred for that team that wears those pinstripes.
We don't
There are other
deserve than you.
there are other teams in the division, sir. There are other teams in the division.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna say that the Blue Jays, aka Astros East, will probably win the division.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. CK, talk to me, big dog. The AL East, you're kind of like our baseball, aficionado, if you will. So I'll let you go to work here. You look at the Blue Jays, Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Rays. What do you see this shaking out, my man?
The Orioles are gonna take the under on the Orioles wins. They got too much stuff going on. Mike Elias is still a clown. You got this new manager who everybody wants to claim, oh, he was the hottest name on the market, when no one's ever heard of him. Okay. And no one was checking for him except Baltimore. You have Tony Manganiello, who's now the bench coach for the Braves, who was the interim coach with the Orioles last year, saying that he got rescued by Walt Weiss, which tells you what he thought of Mike Elias. All right. Yes, I like the Alonso. I like them bringing over Alonso. I like some of the signings, but they still have no pitching. You've already got players hurt. And again, this is a team, full of guys who don't understand what it is to be the hunted. Once they went on that magical run a couple years ago, I said, let's see what they do the following season when people expect things from them. And they've underperformed since. And who did they bring in that's won anything? Where's the veteran leadership in that clubhouse who have actually won, who understand what it is to play with the expectations? They didn't bring anybody in, So I expect them to underperform again because I don't trust their pitching. The Rays are going to be the Rays. They're going to be somewhere around third place in the division because that's just who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's just who they are. So I got Rays. I did Orioles.
You got Red Sox, Blue Jays, Yankees.
Red Sox are going to be interesting. Everybody keeps talking about the fact that, they don't have a slugger. They got pitching. They are fundamentally sound. They got guys who can catch the damn ball at every position, and they have guys who are going to put the ball in play. That smells.
They loaded up on pitching.
That smells like an 85 to 90 win team to me. That's an 85 to 90 win team. Because if you can put the ball in play, which means that you're going to be on the bases, they have speed, and you can catch the damn ball, and you can pitch. Okay, the games might be 3-2, 4-3, but you're going to win 75% of those games.
My biggest thing with them is they got Aroldis Chapman as their closer. That's my only issue.
Chapman is still an elite closer. I understand people don't like Aroldis Chapman because of how he left New York, but he's been an elite closer since he left New York. Okay? And had they just left him alone,
he did pretty good in Boston.
And let him be him, he wouldn't have left New York. So understand the fact that he understands how to pitch under pressure. He still has a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Plus, he's learned to pitch. He has the slider. He has the changeup. He now uses a cutter and a sweeper. He's got 5 pitches coming out of that angle. Aroldis Chapman's going to be fine. He's going to blow some games. Every closer does. But in crunch time, he's going to get, again, they're an 85 to 90 win team to me. They're an 85 to 90 win team. The Blue Jays are interesting because how do you play with expectations? We haven't seen them play with expectations. Everybody expected them to compete last year, but nobody expected them to win and get to the World Series. Now they're expected to win a World Series, which is a very different thing. That's a very different thing. So the top 2 are going to be the Yankees and the Blue Jays. I think that Brian Cashman is a clown. I think he should be fired. I think he's a terrible general manager. They don't develop players. But this is a 90 to 95 win team. It's a 90 to 95 win team. Period. I'm not going to talk playoffs right now. I'm just talking regular season. This is a 90 to 95 win team. what you have with your pitching staff, if Ryan Weathers can stay healthy, if Luis Hill can stay healthy, you only need to go 2 months into the season before you're going to get Cole back, before you're going to get Schmidt back, before you're getting 3 pitchers back. Rodon, who won't start the season, will probably be there in April. So you're getting back 3 starters to go with the 5 starters you already got. If you look at the position players, the American League East with the Yankees, we'll see what Rice does. I don't like him at first base because he's not his footwork isn't always great, but he's still learning the position. You got Goldschmidt backing him up. We know Goldschmidt might not be able to hit, but he can still damn defend. Right?
I honestly, I would put him at first. I would start him at first.
Well, Rice is going to start at first, and Goldschmidt's going to come in late.
I would start him at first, man.
Goldschmidt's going to come in late in games defensively. So you go from a decent fielder to a Gold Glove fielder from the 7th inning on. Second base, you got Jazz, Gold Glove fielder. Shortstop, you got Caballero, a combination of Caballero, Volpe, and Ahmed Rosario. Caballero's a Gold Glove fielder. Ahmed Rosario is above average. He's a plus fielder. We'll see what they get from Volpe. Ryan McMahon, lockdown Gold Glove third baseman. My issue is in center field. Trent Grisham is a corner outfielder. He's a corner outfielder. He's not a center fielder anymore. But they insist on shoehorning Jason Dominguez. Actually, Jason Dominguez ain't even going to play this year for the Yankees. He's going to be AAA all year. He's going to be AAA all year. So you're going to have some combination of either a Seth Brown, somebody like that as your 4th outfielder. You're putting Cody Bellinger, who's your best center fielder, in left. And you're putting your worst center fielder in center instead of putting him in left, which would make a better left fielder than center fielder. But barring injury, it's a 90 to 95 win team. So at the end of the day, it's going to be the Yankees and the Blue Jays, maybe. Because, again, depending on what Boston does, I can see Boston fighting for the AL East crown all the way to the end of the season. Because, again, I hate Boston. I hate everything about the city of Boston. I hate the New England area, okay? But that damn team, bro, underestimate them at your peril.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke a lot, and I kind of want to double click on a bunch of that, but I'm gonna let Villain get in here real quick. Villain, talk to me, big dog. AL East, you know the teams represented, man. What say you, big dog?
I think the division is going to be tough. In the middle of the pack team can win about 90 games and not make the playoffs. That's what I can see realistically here. I think Baltimore is a team that can win 100 games or they can lose 100 games, depending on what happens. They can hit with anybody. I think Ward and Alonso are going to be 2 mashers. Their starting rotation is better than it's been in a couple years, but their bullpen is not going to be able to hold leads. And if you can get into that bullpen early, they're going to be in trouble. I mean, the Rays, I think they're just happy to be back in Tropicana, right? I think after the roof came off, I'm not seeing a lot out of them. Boston is sneaky. Boston, it could be that team that wins. I think it was a couple of years ago, right? Toronto won like 91 games and missed the playoffs by 1 game, I think it was.
Yeah.
Boston has what I liked what they did is that they already have Crochet, who, one of the best pitchers in baseball, and Bello in there, and they added Sonny Gray and Ranger Suarez. So their rotation, their front 4 is as good as anybody's in the league. I just don't know where the power is going to come from. Like outside, you look past Roman Anthony, who's going to be a star, and Trevor Story. I don't know what else you got on that offense. So can they score?
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, let me ask you this question.
I just think seriously they're going to be in a lot of 3-2, 2-1 games.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, I mean, when you got the pitching staff like that the Boston Red Sox do, you can win small ball. You can win 3-2, 2-1. I mean, yeah, it's nail biters and whatnot, but you can win those type of games if you got the pitching.
You got to hit at some point. You got to hit at some point. You got to score runs.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I mean, I don't think any team sitting here is a finished product, but
No,
if there was ever a team that I can see, especially coming out of this division, where it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, it's the Red Sox.
no, that's what I mean. Like, I think their rotation is as good as anybody's. Their front four is as good as anybody. You already had Crochet, and like I said, Bello was really good too. And then you
Yeah.
add Sonny Gray, who, and anytime he's not pitching for the Yankees, he looks like an all star.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I really like that move to get him. And you have a team that was an out or two away from winning the World Series in Toronto, and they had Dylan Cease. Like, I think that was one of the biggest moves of the offseason, adding him to a rotation with some young arms down there, right? They already had a couple of good arms. You add him. They got the kid from Japan, the infielder, um, Okamoto,
Mhm.
that'll replace Bo Bichette, who's probably a better defender, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So but they also add Cody Tons, right?
Yep.
So I like their addition to what Toronto's done. Like, they're easily a 95 win team in this division, easily, right? And then you look at the Yankees. If the Yankees are going to score runs, they're going to score their runs. They scored like 800 plus runs last year. They
Mhm.
pretty much have the same lineup. I don't think their offense is going to be a problem. I think the defense is going to be an issue up the middle. I mean, Volpe is still a terrible defender. Grisham is out
How
of
do we
position
not
in
get
center
rid of him,
field.
bro?
We know who wants him. Nobody wants him. I think Jazz is good, but he's a little erratic. He takes too many chances as a second baseman. He needs to be more sure-handed. So I think up the middle is going to be a problem. But you got a pitching staff that was solid last year, late. That's adding a full year of Gill, and then one pitch from Cole is more than you got last year. So I think the bullpen, the starting rotation is pretty much solid. I think there's some young kids, and Unc can probably attest to this, that the Yankees have as young arms that could really be interesting for them. Rodriguez is that the kid that no Larange, right? Carlos Larange, the kid
Mhm.
that throws like 102 miles an hour.
Yeah, but
So
he's further away than Rodriguez is, believe it or not. Even though they don't
no,
say
he
that.
is. He is. Because I saw him. He has that high rising fastball, and then he has that really good downward action on his changeup. But he's only got two pitches, so he needs to develop a little bit more. You're right. But I think halfway through the year, into September and October, you're going to see that young lively arm come up and be a real difference. So, but I think the bullpen is a big question mark for the Yankees right now. And, losing a couple arms, they're already bullpen that gave up a bunch of leads last year.
Mhm.
And if we won half the games that bullpen blew last year, we probably would have been a World Series team. So I think, and already losing some of those arms and not really doing much to replace them, like poking the stick at Cashman, do something, please. I don't know
Well,
what the bullpen's going to be. So I,
the,
I think Toronto takes this division. I think the Yankees hang with them until late. And I think Boston is probably the third team out.
the only thing with Cashman, that's the only credit I'll ever give him. He can always build a bullpen. He can build
Sure.
a bullpen. He can always find guys that everybody else has given up on, and suddenly they're world beaters with the Yankees. You can go to Luke Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Fernando Cruz. Half the Yankees bullpen guys that they wanted to depend on were guys that were given up on by 3 or 4 other teams. So the bullpen's going to be fine. It's everything else. That's the damn problem.
Right. And you gotta be fair, right? LG, you're looking up at Toronto. If you're a Yankee fan, you're not looking up at Toronto, you're out of your mind, because that's easily the best team in the AL.
Yeah.
Well, you might be looking at Wisconsin too. You might be looking at the Red Sox too. Give or take.
I don't know if they have enough offense, Larry. I really don't. It's not me being a Boston hater. I
in
have
that,
to be honest. Like, you take
but,
away Trevor Story and Anthony, where are you getting the offense from on this team?
but
Really?
in that ballpark, do you really need it though? I'm saying, in that ballpark, do you really need it?
I mean, they travel, bro. Like, I mean, you got like
you gotta go. You gotta go to Toronto. Probably gotta go through
Yeah,
You
I'm
say?
not saying not going through Toronto, but I'm just saying in that ballpark, you could think about it. What is it? I think it's right field. That's like super short. You guys
No,
can hit
left
20
field.
home runs either. It's
left
left.
field.
Yeah,
It's
left.
left
It's
field.
super
Three
short.
monster.
Yeah,
But
you'll see some guys that
trade.
you don't even think they got power like that. And they could have some good seasons.
Here's the trade they're going to make probably at the deadline, because Dave Dombrowski is doing his best to push Bryce Harper out of Philly. He's doing his best. He keeps running his mouth. He keeps.
He better not go to Boston.
He better not. They're trying to push him to New York.
The Red Sox are already ready to get rid of Rafaela, Jaron Duran, Marcelo Mayer, and they'll throw in some arms. You send that package to Philly for Bryce Harper, and you take his entire contract, which Boston can, they'll make that trade. Don't be surprised if Bryce Harper winds up a damn Red Sox.
I will be shocked.
I would be pissed.
And
I would be too, but I'm looking at it from a baseball perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
Who can make it? Who would wind up needing him enough to make that trade? And they already have young players they want to get rid of, who are very good, by the way. Ceddanne Rafaela, Gold Glove outfielder. Jaron Duran, Gold Glove outfielder. 5'2" players, both of them. So
how many years are left on this deal? How many years are left on Harper's deal?
I think at least 5, somewhere in that neighborhood, 3 to 5 years.
It's stupid
3
money.
to 5 years.
I don't know.
What is Boston?
You think Boston will take that on? You think they'll take that on?
With all of the young players that they have, and you just plug him in? Yeah.
Sure.
They would. I just, as a Yankee fan, that would annoy the hell out of me. I would be pissed all the way off.
Of course.
It was sick of me, but from a baseball perspective, bro, it makes sense.
Dude, I want to know. My bad. I was gonna say I want to know who are the Yankees salivating over more, Skeens or Connor Griffin? You know, I love to steal Pittsburgh players.
Skeens wants to be a Yankee. Skeens wants to be a Yankee desperately. Like
we
all see it. That's like y'all farm system.
We want Skeens.
Hey,
yeah, we want.
Connor been killing that ball, bro.
Yeah, Connor Griffin is still unproven, bro. I understand what everybody's saying is potential. He's still unproven. Let me see him get through a full season, and let me see the Pittsburgh Pirates not ruin him like they did all of the other good young prospects, position players. I mean, they turned Brian Hayes into a joke.
But do you really think that Pittsburgh would trade Skeens? Do you really think they would do that?
No, what's going to happen is they're going to have to, because he's going to let them know through back channels, I'm never going to sign a contract with y'all. So once I get to arbitration, which he's coming up for arbitration, remember, he can go early because he's won a Cy Young. He gets to arbitration sooner. You think he's not going to ask for what Tariq Skubal just got?
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
Or more.
You really think they're going to pay him $32 million in Pittsburgh?
That's their whole major league roster.
I mean, I don't know who got a lower payroll, them or the A's.
I don't know. The A's got to be like $20 million.
I think there's a little league team with a lower NIL deal than that.
That's crazy work. Before we move real quick, man, here's my breakdown a little bit. I feel as though you guys are correct. I feel as though the Toronto Blue Jays will be the class at AL East. I just like what they've done, being able to finally get Vlad under contract. The pitching is the best, one of the best in baseball. And so my only concern is what CK said, when you go from, the hunter to the hunted, that spotlight and that weight tends to weigh significantly on teams. I believe last year we talked about it, them being there. They got there. They went to the World Series. They lost, but they got there. So, and they didn't really lose too many pieces from this team that they went to the World Series but last year. So I think there'll be class in the division. Obviously, the Yankees will be there. I'm a shock, you guys. I think Boston's third in this division. Not Boston, but Baltimore. I think Baltimore's third in this division. I think Baltimore does this thing where they're good one year, bad the next, good one year, bad the next. They were horrible last year. So I expect them to be somewhat in the middle of the pack this year. Getting a bat and Pete Alonso is going to add a couple more runs to that roster. And I think Boston and Tampa Bay kind of round out the bottom half. of this division. To your point, Villain. The offense has to come from somewhere. Now you can win small ball. You can win 3-2, 2-1, 4-5, whatever case may be. But when you're in this type of a division with teams that can put the ball, in the cheap seats pretty regularly, and the pitching in this division is some of the best in baseball, if you will. Especially when you get Cole back, you get Gill back. We always spoke about the Toronto Blue Jays and what they're able to bring to the table as far as the pitching staff. They may struggle. They might struggle. So that's kind of how AL East is kind of breaking down. Anybody got anything else before we move on?
No, I think didn't Baltimore get off to a bad start last year?
Huh?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
They
lost
got to
like
get out of the gates.
They lost 20 out of the first 25, 28 or something like that. They started really bad.
It buried the season, but crazy work. The first game, the polar bear plays. He gets a home run. Mets fan must be kicking, punching, and screaming down there.
Yeah, exactly. We don't normally talk Olympics on this show. We normally don't talk, but the USA did do their thing over there. We don't have to spend a lot of time on here. Did you guys catch the hockey games at all?
A little bit. Pastor, I'm sorry. I was watching a little bit in church. I'm sorry. I apologize. I did pay attention to the sermon, though. I did pay attention. He did. He preached from Joshua chapter 6, so I was paying attention, but I was watching.
Get him.
So
what you think, Dylan?
From what I saw, I was watching a little bit before I left the house, and ironically, when I left the house, it was the intermission before overtime. So then I got to catch a little bit. It's just I think thank God for the All-Star game in NHL that kind of prepped us for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the USA versus Canada. So you kind of had a little extra juice coming into this game. Canada was talking mad smack, like they had it on lock, and USA just fought and clawed. Coach put up a great video. I can't even follow that video, but what a game it was, and getting that overtime win, and USA getting their first gold medal since 1980. I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eyes, but it was a great game. In Canada, better luck 4 years from now.
Canada. Larry, I'm not sure if you caught any of it, man. What would you think?
I only caught the overtime, but I was kind of multitasking at that time. I thought it was a good game. I'm like this. There's nothing wrong with taking a defeat. It's how you take the defeat to me. And it's like, okay, it was a good game. It wasn't like it was a blowout. It went into overtime. And immediately after the game, Canada started making excuses. Like
everyone
the part I didn't like. Like, there's no shame in losing in overtime. There's no shame in it. But you immediately start making excuses about why you lost and all this other stuff. Like, sometimes, like Barry, you always say, sometimes you should just have some class, man. Just, take your L. That's the only thing I say that I didn't like about it. But other than that, like I said, I caught it in overtime. It was a good game. So that was a hell of a goal. But yeah,
I mean, both of them. I mean, the men's championship final and the men's final. I mean, both of them.
Yeah,
very good.
Mm-hmm. Women's are dominant, man. They're a dominant team, man. They wrote that through. So big up to the women's team.
I had to go back and watch it. I was in church and I had a bunch of other stuff to do on Sunday. So I mean, obviously, I'm following the thread and I'm seeing the socials and everything, but I couldn't watch it until later, man. But sitting there, I guess already knowing the outcome, I will say it kind of dampened it a little bit for me, because I wasn't on the edge of my seat, just heart racing or whatever. But I will have to admit, this was the first, Winter Olympic thing that I watched. You know what I'm saying? I for one don't really get into the Winter Olympics like I do the summer ones. Now the summer ones we have massive group conversations and the whole thing about it. But The fact that this was the highest, the most watched Winter Olympics since 2014, speaks volumes on how the Winter Olympics have advanced. And so I want to give my shout out to all the athletes, but the U.S. hockey teams did their thing.
Hey, Aaron, bro, I hate to cut you off like that, bro. But we got to give our hats out to Layla Edwards, bro.
Yeah.
Must give our hats out to her.
I mean, no disrespect to her at all.
Nah,
and I, for one, I actually do. I watch the Summer Olympics more. My daughter asked me, like, "Daddy, you watch the?" I was like,
I
more,
mean,
but there's parts of that.
Take it from here. Do you think?
No, you CK the senior. I mean, I'm just saying, CK is a senior, and like and I don't want to pull that card, but I've seen black hockey players, but how many black women hockey players have you seen?
Mm-hmm.
Win a goal? Yeah, bro. I gotta give my hats off to her too, bro.
Canadian, but for the American team, Layla Edwards was the first one to score in the Olympics. First Black American woman to win a gold medal in the Olympics. So the women's team is just a better watch than the men's team. They're just a better watch. If you just like hockey, I love hockey. So the women's team is a better watch. The men's team, first of all, Nathan McKinnon, you were absolutely right, but I need you to shut the hell up. The better team didn't win. The U.S. got outplayed. You got outshot 41-26. You got dominated in the ice. The ice was tilted the entire game. Your defensemen were trash. Your line changes were awful. And Mike Sullivan was coaching not to lose. Period. End of story. Connor Hellebuck stood on his head. And that's why the United States won. That's why the United States won. Because that save doesn't get made 100 out of 100 times. That save doesn't get made. Okay? Where you use the heel of your stick to block a goal from point blank range from a world-class player. Having said that, I don't want to hear about 3-on-3. Because in Vancouver, when Sidney Crosby scored in overtime, what they call the golden goal, it was 4-on-4. There hasn't been 5-on-5 overtime hockey in the Olympics since the 80s. It hasn't been. All right. So miss me with, there's not enough players on the ice. Because if Canada had scored a goal at one, no one from Canada would have complained about 3-on-3 hockey.
Hell no. They wouldn't have said a damn thing.
Hockey is designed for the fans. It's designed for TV. Let's call it what it is. It's exciting. The ice is more open. You can see the player skill sets. Okay, because 5-on-5, there's no way in hell that we get that goal because the ice is clogged up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hear all of that. Should the United States have won? Absolutely not. But they did. So shut up. Okay, shut up. And that's the end of it. Period. End of story. Sometimes a better team doesn't win. Sometimes better be lucky than good. I ain't got a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, Jack Hughes, who lost 2 teeth in the third period, okay, scored the gold medal winning game with no teeth. And it was singing that song, All I Want for Christmas Is My 2 Front Teeth.
My 2 front teeth.
Right. So but overall, I love the fact that both the men's team was representative this year. It wasn't as good as I thought it could be, but it was representative. The women's team, they did what they did. Hillary Knight went out with gold. Kendall Schofield went out with gold. And the youth on that women's side is really, really going to show in the next few Olympics because the young players on that women's team are going to be really good. I just hope that the men's team, they get their roster construction better. But again, it doesn't matter who the better team was. It matters that you take advantage of opportunities when they come. Jack Hughes took advantage of his opportunity. So Nathan McKinnon, you can kick rocks.
Coach, what's going on, big dog? How we doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Well, you get in when you finish. We're talking Winter Olympics. You want to go back and break down the AL East, you can.
No, we passed that. We talk
not really.
Say less, man.
Not particularly.
you just developed a solid video breaking down the golden goal, man. Talk to me, man.
I mean, it is what it is, man. Like they did that hockey, so you know.
Say less. Say
Did you have some
less.
gummy bears before you came over?
It just said, "See the video. See the video."
No, no. I had a very intense conversation with my mother before coming on the show. So thanks a lot, Chandler. For
You all right?
no, but like I'm here, so there we go.
Okay. All right. Say less. Say less. Say less.
All
We'll
right.
keep it pushing. We'll keep pushing. All right, fellas. Spinning around the association really quickly, man. We got a lot of games in action, but um, we talked about it yesterday on the Rocket show. We're not gonna spend today talking about the Rockets. You did your Knicks show, and talk a little bit about what we're looking forward to seeing going forward. You know, coach, you're the last one in, man. Where's your head at with the rest of this association as we got 20 some odd games left?
You know, it's funny because before coming on, I saw that like the Hawks did like a tribute to Trey Young. I guess it's his first time back in Atlanta since the trade.
Mhm.
I thought that was funny because it was just like, oh, thank you, Trey. Like we couldn't wait to get you out of town, but like I feel like you don't have to do these like guy we traded like comes back in the town like because it feels forced. It's like y'all don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but everybody puts these packages together and it's like, oh yeah, like we love you so much and like, but it's like we couldn't wait for you to leave. You know, so it's just you got that. We did touch on it a little bit last night on the Rockets show. I mean, I just want to kind of like take the Rockets out of this conversation, but it's just the West continues to be such a gauntlet and just a knockdown, drag out like situation to where it's just from day to day, you look at these teams and stuff like that, and it's just you just never know. It's like, oh man, like nobody can beat the Spurs, but then it's like, oh man, nobody's gonna beat OKC. It's like, oh man, look at the Rockets last night. Look at Jabari Smith, what he did last night. It's like again, like that's neither here nor there, but it's like you see these things and you see
Hi,
like
Justin.
these teams in the West, these teams in the West just continue to just like punch each other in the mouth, and it's crazy. And then like over in the East now, it's funny because like a friend of mine said, finals preview with like the Pistons and the Spurs like the other night, and I was like, I
Mhm.
don't know about all that. I like, but it was nice. It was nice to see two young teams on the come up, like kind of go at it and play. That was a very good basketball game that they played. Um, the Knicks have a Pistons problem, a very big Pistons problem. Speaking of the Pistons, the Knicks, like again, we said like, hey, with everything going on, it's like with the Knicks, is like, hey guys, this is kind of time to do it. And over time, the Knicks have developed a little bit of a Piston problem. And hey, over the course of a 7 game series, it can be adjusted. But like right now, it's like, hey, style. We always talk about like styles making fights, and right now it's just like whatever happened. Like the Pistons just have figured something out with the Knicks. It just seems. Moving on to like something else I want to talk about, like just the tanking, and it's one of those things where it's like I feel like some of these teams they just go out there and just play, they'll lose anyway. You guys don't have to try to lose on purpose. You know, just go out there and play. Just go out there and play normally, and you're gonna lose anyway. You know, it's like we saw the Jazz. The Jazz are not a good basketball team. They just go out there and just play. They're gonna lose more games than they win. But when it comes to like these protections and stuff like that, and I think that's the biggest thing the NBA needs to do. It's like these like top 10 protected and this protected and like top 8 stuff like that. That's what brings in these teams willing to tank and willing to tank their season or to do whatever, because like you put all these protections and all these parameters on these picks to where it's like, well, hey, if I'm in the top 10, I keep my pick. But if I'm in, if I'm picking the top 5, it goes to the Celtics or it goes to the Bucks. So I feel like that might be something the NBA needs to look at as far as like being what these teams are able to tie to these picks. That would stop. That would slow down the tanking, because like let's be honest, like the money, the fine stuff like that, these guys are billionaires. Like you have to take something of note away from it. Can't just be $100,000 fine to the Jazz, $50,000 fine to the Pacers. These owners are billionaires. This is nothing. They spend $50,000 a year on like golf balls. You know what I'm saying? It's like this doesn't matter to them. You have to like I feel like Silver. We talk about this with Goodell. Well, Goodell has 32 bosses. Silver has the governors that he has to answer to, and I guess in FanDuel and DraftKings too. If you listen to like some of these stories that you see on the internet, but it's just there needs to be some real punishment, some real like consequences for these teams who you feel are tanking. And for me, that's the biggest thing now as we kind of like get toward the tail end of the season, watching these teams who like, oh, we have this team's pick, we have that team's pick, and now that it's out in the open, it was kind of like tanking was like kind of this wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like they're sitting everybody tonight. It's just it goes back to like load management and things of that
Mhm.
nature and stuff like that, to where it started with that and kind of morphed and kind of, but wait a minute, if we can hold players out because load management, maybe we can hold players out because you know what, maybe we want more ping pong balls. So like I feel like that's something that like people kind of gloss over. That's something that like was just on my mind to say like with the NBA, because I mean I think we see it, and we talked about this since this show has been a thing. We've talked about this, where it's like you can see the intensity pick up. You can see the rotations getting shorter already. You can see it. It's going to be March here in a couple days. It's time for teams to kind of like get in position and kind of establish what kind of team you're going to be. There's still times for teams to kind of right the ship and kind of make some noise, and then there's the teams who are at the top who are just trying to like get through and stay healthy. So I'm excited to see what happens down the stretch, especially this might seem strange, but like at the bottom of the East, somebody has to make the playoffs in the bottom of the East. And so it's just crazy how like all these teams down, somebody got to make the playoffs. Like 10 teams have to make the playoffs in the East, and I'm interested to see like what those 4 teams at the bottom who are just like kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to. You do it. You go. You get in the playoff. And so it's like I don't. That's just something that just like good basketball is okay and watching the top, but it's like, man, the bottom of the East, I've been locked in on the bottom of the East because like it's just like none of these teams want to make the playoffs. They all want more ping pong balls, like I said, and it's just crazy because it's out with tanking, they have to try to play, they have to try to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just funny to me, like that.
So
So
of the 10 teams, so there's the Orlando Magic, Miami Heat, Hawks, and Hornets right now. Underneath them, you got Milwaukee, Chicago, Washington, Brooklyn, and Indiana. Who do you think goes 7 through 10?
like I don't know. I mean, like I feel like the Heat will get in there, like they're like locked in like 8 or 9 slot. That's
Hmm.
just the Heat spot. The Bulls maybe. The Hornets are interesting because again, it's like that's a talented Hornets team, and when they're on, they look like a pretty decent, like an actual real football. I mean, football team, like basketball team, But like I don't know, it's just all these teams are kind of like fighting each other. Like I mean, like the Hawks are beating the dog out of the Wizards right now. You know what I'm
The
saying? So
Wizards
it's
ain't
like,
got
man,
nobody on the floor.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
off.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you have that. You have like, I mean, Charlotte's beating the Bulls by like 27 points, something like that. I just saw on my ticker. It's like it's crazy. Like what happens because it's like I think you're gonna start to see in the next 10 days, 14, like 2 weeks, the teams who actually want to make the playoffs. And I feel like the Heat, the Hornets, um, the Heat, Hornets definitely want to make the playoffs. And I feel like the Bulls are trying. They just don't have the horses.
They don't
They
have
don't have
enough.
they don't have enough. But the Bulls are trying. They just took gas and match to that team. But the Bulls are at least trying. Like tonight, they're not trying very hard. But like I said, it's interesting to see. Like I don't know. Like I said, I think ask me again in like a couple of weeks because I feel like whatever teams are going to kind of make that push at the bottom of the East will make it in this next 2 weeks, because this next 2 weeks is very important for positioning like at the bottom of that conference, because I just think you got a couple teams who might fall into the playoffs just by default.
I got you. Villain, talk to me, big dog, man. You can spin it around the association if you want to talk a little bit about the Knicks. I'm gonna meet you, but you know what I'm saying. If you want to take the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, what's your head up, big dog?
Um, Pistons don't have enough shooting. They're going to get beat in a playoff series when they step up in class. I think they're a really talented team. They're a tough team. They play really good defense. They try to be really physical with Wemby, and it just came down to the fact that they have one shooter on their team. Basically, Cade Cunningham's not a 3-point shooter. He's a great player. He cannot shoot yet. So if they don't hit threes, then I don't know if they can go into a 7-game series in the finals against the Spurs or the Thunder. I think they play the Thunder tomorrow, so that's going to be a really good game or interesting game. We'll see what they do. One thing I did see, I think it was Sunday night, was the Celtics and the Lakers. Lakers they're trash, man. they're like the worst good team in the league. Like, they're trash.
Say this much though, I don't know if you listened to what we said yesterday. We Rockets fans don't
want no parts of the Lakers.
You want no parts of that.
No part.
Why?
That makes no sense to me.
We don't want no parts of that.
That makes that makes no sense. That team plays no defense.
Neither do we.
Between one who refuses, between Luka.
Neither do the Rockets, and Luka is going to stuff Reed Shepherd in a locker.
It's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, but at least the Rockets have guys that actually can play defense. Lakers have nobody that play defense.
Where
they at? Huh?
Where they
Thompson
at?
plays defense. Anyway, I'm not doing this thing. You brought up the Rockets, not me. Just for the record. But the Celtics live and die by the three. I think Unc and I said it on the Knicks show, Orange and Blue Skies. Great show. If you didn't watch that show, please watch it. Unc and I, Anthony and Joe T did a great job talking Knicks basketball. But I mean, the Celtics, they live and die by the three. But Jaylen Brown has proven that he's worth every penny that they paid that guy.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal basketball player. So, I think the Knicks can beat them in a 7-game series, but they would put the fear in God in you if they're hitting threes. Because they can do pretty much everything else too. So, and I agree with you. And I don't want to belabor this because I know we got other things to talk about, but tanking is an issue. Mark Cuban is a fool for saying what he said just because he's an owner. Like, of course, you're going to say the issue is not tanking; it's making it affordable. What do you care if it's affordable? You got TV deals out the yin yang paying you all this money. What the hell do you care if people come into the arena? Dude, the problem is that these teams are incentivized to tank. They're not penalized when they do tank. To your point, Coach, they take a little bit of pocket money. They're like lint in the bottom of their shoe. They don't care if they get caught tanking. Take the draft picks. You know what I mean? Make it so that if you tank 1 year, you get into the top 5, you can't pick for the next 3 years. How about that? Like, you got to make it so that, and I know the owners are the commissioner's boss, so they'll never get fixed. But it's the league in a lot of ways is great to watch, and it's completely unwatchable. Between the tanking, between the lack of defense, the spacing, the guys driving down the lane with the open layup and then kicking it out for the three. It's just a style of basketball that is boring to me to watch. I'd rather watch college basketball. College basketball had a better weekend than NBA basketball. Let's talk about it.
I mean, they had a phenomenal weekend.
We'll get there in a second.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, I'd rather watch Duke in Michigan than watch the Lakers and Celtics. Yeah, I said it. So, yeah, I think the tanking is a real issue and it needs to get solved. And I don't have the answer for it because the owners, they rule the world. They ain't going to fix what they cooked up. So,
I mean, I can respect it. I mean, I think for me, honestly, bouncing around association, Larry, CK, come to you in a second. I think in both conferences, there's 4 teams that can realistically win the championship. Everybody else, see you next year. I think I don't. I honestly don't believe we have to wait until March. Like again, I understand what coach is trying to get at, but I think at this particular point, we know who the four teams are in the East and who the four teams are in the West that could potentially win his championship. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think that the rest of the field is up to par. I think this is the first year in a very long time where I'm not excited to watch too much basketball outside of the team I like, and even they are giving me a reason to not want to watch basketball until about end of March, because we know Detroit's the number one team in the country. You know what I'm saying? Boston's going to be in the thick of things. New York is going to be in the thick of things. And it's a toss up between the Cleveland Cavaliers or the 76ers. And if I'm betting money right now, I pick Cleveland. Even with the choking dogs that CK likes to allude to on the roster. In the West, OKC, San Antonio, Denver, and flip a coin. You can say Houston. You could say Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? But other than OKC, San Antonio, and Denver, name that fourth team. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time in a very long time where, we search for parity in basketball. We search for, we get antsy for matchups and we're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's very possible that, the 4 or 5 matchup is going to be good. It's very, very possible that, the 2-8 matchup or whatever it is going to be pretty decent. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to crawl themselves into the playing tournament and get boat raced. You know what I'm saying? Thus starting the whole Giannis Antetokounmpo where he go next year thing all over again. You know what I'm saying? The Houston Rockets are going to, get, in the first round series and get bounced, and all of a sudden we're going to be trying to figure out how to get LaMelo Ball and everything else. I mean, I'm not excited to watch. I'm not excited to watch basketball anymore, and it's not for the reasons that Villain alluded to. Like, I don't care, man. I mean, get to the lane if you want to kick it out for a 3-point. Kick it out for a 3-point. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy that likes that type of offense. I'm a guy that likes, I'm an offensive guy. I'm not trying to play 72, 71 basketball games. That's not me. But you know what I'm saying? I like when the stars are able to be playing, and kind of like the WWE, the stars in today's game, a good portion of them are hurt. A good portion of them are disgruntled. So it makes it not fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? Larry, we had the same conversation when it came to football. You know what I'm saying? The stars ain't playing. And so when the stars are not able to play, it's not fun. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. Larry, talk to me, big dog. Like, where's your head at with the association, man?
I mean, y'all kind of hit it on the head. I mean, I actually like these Cavs team, even though they have 2 players that normally choke in the playoffs. But you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. I like the fact that they got somebody who's more of a distributor. Not saying that Garland wasn't, but Garland, he was a little bit more of a scorer than James been. Like I keep telling y'all, this iteration of James Harden is not the same James Harden everybody remember. But we'll see what's gonna happen. The West, man, I'm actually kind of excited for the West because the Western Conference playoffs has actually been the good playoffs for the past how many years? Decade. So I'm kind of more excited to see the West because we already know in the East the Pistons is gonna be matched up against I don't know the Wizards or somebody, and it's gonna be a sweep, and every game is gonna be like a 40-point win. I don't remember last time a 7th or 8th seed has even won a series in the East. Yeah, that's just an onslaught because most time the teams in the East they're like 20 games under 500 and still making the playoffs. But I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm really kind of interested to see because I don't make this a rocket show, but Jesse he was high on if Fred can make it back for playoffs, and if Tatum can make it back for playoffs. I'm kind of interested to see this because I actually like what Boston did at the trade deadline. Boston's been playing good. Jalen's been playing good. So I want to see, as far as the game, I get Barry's frustration and Barry, dude. You know what? I've gotten into so many arguments with guys about. They're like, oh, the pace of play is faster now. It's still a 24-second shot clock. So you know what that means? Y'all jacking up shots because y'all feel like jacking up shots mean you're a better player, give you more stats, and get you more money. But like I said, I keep telling people it's still a 24-second shot clock. That ain't changed. It ain't been changed. That just means you're shooting the ball more. As far as the tanking stuff, this is what I just kind of sit back and I thought about it, right? Yeah, I remember when Charles Barkley made that comment and he was like, hey, most people don't realize that, the guy that's 10th, 11th, 12th on the bench is a really good player, like really, really good player. So like even back then, guys, they quote unquote kind of try to do some game, but if you put in like your 10th, 11th, 12th guy, they was still like a guy who played 3-4 years in college. There was some really good guys on the end of the bench. Because as we all know, there are guys that, you may have been a superstar in high school, superstar in college, you get to the pros, may or may not be, but you're a pretty good player. Today's NBA, those guys that are like 10, 11, 12, 13 deep, they're not the same player. Like, you have to think about it. Outside of like your top, I'm gonna say top 10 in the last 5 drafts, how many guys are like buried on somebody's bench or G leaguers or bouncing around? It's not the same seasoned pros that you were getting on the end of the bench. So of course, if you put these guys in who we've all said they probably should have been in college already or somewhere else, you put them in now, then yeah, it's easy to tank. It's easy to tank because these guys are not like you say, Steve. It don't matter who you put out there; they're bench players and they're gonna get beat. They're gonna lose regardless. Where before you might put some of them guys out, you might be surprised because these guys, like I said, they were more. It was more seasoned pros, and I think the NBA needs to fix that. The NBA needs to definitely, say, hey, you know what, you can't be in this lottery year in and year out. Can't do it. And I think that they're actually going to change that because you know what ends up happening. It's going to be they are going to get in the room. And, it's more than just a handful of owners. You're going to get in the room and some of these guys that are, have these really good teams and be like, you know what? So what happens if one of these bad teams forfeit their first rounder? Who does it go to? And then that's when you got guys bumping heads, guys being, how it is. They gotta get in the room, and the haves and the have-nots gonna get in the room, and it's gonna be, oh, you know what? Hey, I'm OKC. You know what? Hey, y'all forfeited y'all first round pick. I just won a championship. I get the first pick. It's gonna be something like that that's gonna have to come down, and then it's gonna be something that have to come down the way where something is affecting these guys' bottom dollar. Like Steve, I know what you're saying. Like these $100,000 fines is like them dudes saying, you know what, that's not even my pocket change. Go look in between my couch. I think you'll find it. But to start hitting their actual bottom dollar line is where it's really gonna be, where you can't tank. Because I'm one of them dudes that I believe, hey, look, if your team has been in the lottery for 3-4 years, next season your ticket prices should be $4.99. You shouldn't be able to charge nobody more than $4.99 a ticket. I don't care if I'm sitting half court, if I'm sitting in the nosebleed.
You said sitting half court.
$5 tickets, bro. I'm just saying.
No, it's funny that you say that because like my boy who's from Charlotte, he's a lifelong Hornets fan, was a Bobcats fan, whatever like that. He was like, what he said, what they should do is they should let you in for free and then charge you to get out.
No, what they should do,
No, honestly, Larry, they should be paying us to go see the game. If you're gonna have the balls to tank a game but want us to pay full price for the tickets, you must be out of your mind. Like Larry, you should go to a game and be like, you know what? You give me $40 for going
you
to
refund
watch the
everybody
game.
money. You refund everybody money or something or hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like Robert.
Because you're not getting.
Robert Harris. Robert Harris say, I sat on the bench. He said, Coach put me in. Tell my man, I scored 18 points, 12 rebounds. And, let me go and play. if I'm
Because
paying for their product,
you got Cuban out here bullshitting, talking about it's affordability for the fans, but you're not giving them
Yeah.
that money back when they go see that game. You're not giving them
no.
money back. So get out of here with that garbage, man.
So
The
yeah, I feel
reason,
like some of these teams they should be restricted on what they could charge dudes. Hell, you come in and you buy that ticket for $5.99, you get 2 jerseys for free too. Look, hey, look, it's BOGO around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got to be something like that. And like I say, you're gonna see it because you know how a lot of these guys is they cannibals. They gonna eat each other, and it's like, oh yeah, you know what, y'all been tanking. You know what, we ain't been tanking, so we got to penalize y'all.
well,
We'll see.
the
Yeah.
We'll
reason
see.
that they're gonna fix tanking has nothing to do with anything y'all said. Um, it's because they're in bed with FanDuel, BetMGM,
Yeah,
Caesars, um, and
and
what's
that's what I'm
happening
saying.
is
CK, that's when the money start going down.
well, yeah, because they're costing these people money. Because trust me, the next time a Utah team pulls what they pull, some fans gonna go get a lawyer, okay,
Yeah.
and say, I need my money back from that bet because they obviously point shade. They
Yep.
point shade. They manipulated the outcome of the game. That is point shaving. That's why Chauncey Billups doesn't have a job, okay, and is going to be in federal court. That is point shaving. These sports books are going to say to the NBA, oh, hell no. We don't like to give money back. We're not giving money back, so fix your stuff. So fix it. And they will. Because listen, I'm old enough to remember when nobody wanted to acknowledge the link between gambling and sports, but that's what it was. Why do you think the NFL gives out an injury report and has been for 40 years for gambling purposes? That's why on the old TV where you had Warner Wolf talking about let's go to the videotape, they mentioned the line. It was as an aside, wink, wink, for gambling purposes. These sports are built on gambling. That's where a lot of their money's coming from. So they have to fix it. You can't have teams doing what they're doing because these sports books are going to lose money. Period, end of story. So they're going to fix it. But mainly it's because of the fact that the sports books, who are invested heavily now, and in some cases are partners with these teams. It's behind the scenes, but you got some of these sports books own a percentage of some of these teams, man. They own a percentage. They're not just sponsors, they're part of the organization. You can't cost me money if I'm a shareholder. What's wrong with you? You got to answer to the board of directors, bro. We'll vote you out and take your damn team from you. Okay? Ask some of these corporations that have been taken over. Because the board of directors said, you out, he's in, or she's in, whoever. But as far as the games on the court, I don't understand why. First of all, tell your boy Jesse I'm still waiting on my iced tea because I told him that Kevin Durant was trash. I told him that was a bad trade. He didn't believe me. Well, I bet you I want my damn green tea, Jesse. All right. The Lakers are not a good team. They're one and done. They're a one and done team in the playoffs. They're one and done. Because you frustrate Luka, and then you ask LeBron, hey, LeBron, we know you over there moping, and you've been moping all season because nobody's talking about you. And you had to bring up something Jaylen Brown said 3 years ago so you could get 30 seconds on Sports Center, okay? Because nobody gives a damn about your son because we forgot he was even playing anymore until you mentioned his name. So, yeah, you got Luka who gets frustrated, and you got LeBron who's pouting because he's not the number one story every night. You missed me with the Lakers. They're one and done. Austin Reeves, bro, listen, you've been playing really well. You are not it, okay? You are not it. So I'm going to need you to pipe down, okay, and understand that if you have them other two cats on your team, you'd be toiling in obscurity somewhere in Sacramento averaging 28 points a game, and no one but your family would know you're in the league, all right? So I'm going to need you to pipe down, bro. But I dare anybody to tell me how you can't tell me that Victor Wembanyama is not the MVP. Because if you take him off the Spurs, are we talking about them as a contender for anything other than maybe a 6 seed?
He's not the MVP.
No one's talking about them going to the finals without
I
him.
don't. I
No
don't
one-
think Wemby's the MVP.
Jaylen Brown and Victor should be 1-2 in some order in the MVP. Because if you take Jaylen Brown off the Celtics, they're in the play-in. All right. If you take Victor off the Spurs, maybe they're a 6 seed. Maybe they're a 6 seed. Denver could still win if Jokic sits because
They're a playoff team without Wemby. Then
Yeah, they're a playoff team without Wemby for sure. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So I think Cade Cunningham is
That's the
better
MVP right there.
candidate.
yeah.
I don't know if he's the MVP, but I think it's a good debate.
Because I think that Pistons team is in the East. In the East, it's still a top 5 playoff team. In the West, you take Victor off the Spurs. Tell me you think they're any better than 7.
We not gonna see who the real MVP, and I say that's why Wemby not the MVP because he's gonna probably miss 60. He's not gonna make the 65 game mark.
I think he will,
which sucks.
Well, if he doesn't, then it's
Did
Jaylen
they
Brown.
adjust that too?
If he doesn't, then it's Jaylen Brown for me. But the East is going to be interesting because somebody's going to get the Hornets in the first round, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to get that Hornets team in the first round. We haven't seen the 8 seed beat a 1 seed since, I want to say, Baron Davis and the Warriors when he dunked on the entire team.
That AK-47 Karolinko dunk. I remember that.
I could see the Charlotte Hornets knocking somebody off that they shouldn't be able to knock off because them boys can go crazy with the score. They can go crazy. LaMelo Ball, quiet as kept, is amazing, and he's maturing. He's no longer playing street ball. He's playing actual basketball now. Who knew he could do that? Right? I think the Hornets are going to be interesting. I think they're going to be very exciting. That's it for the East for me. That's it.
I just have to say, like, I don't know how you take Cade coming off that Pistons team. They're probably a play-in team, but like he does so much to affect everything on that team. Like,
no, in the East they're not a playing team. In the West they're a playing team. In the East,
I don't know. I just Cade Cunningham, man. Like, I just watch him play. Like, he has to do everything.
I understand that, but we're talking the Eastern Conference. Just eliminate the West. Look at the Eastern Conference, right? Look at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and tell me that even without him, they're not better than Charlotte, Washington, the other 2 teams that Steve named. I can't remember. Charlotte, Washington, and 2 other teams that I can't even think of because I can't remember them in the damn league. Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
Toronto's actually been playing pretty good.
Yeah, the Raptors actually they figured some stuff out up there in Toronto. They actually been playing well. But I just looked it up on a certain sports book. I won't name the name because they could be a potential sponsor. But on Victor Wembanyama is plus 2,500 to win MVP.
I don't know if that's good or bad because I don't understand those things.
So
plus 25 is good odds. Those are good odds.
Yeah, plus 2,500. If you think he's the MVP, if you put $20 on plus 2,500, that's a pretty good return on your investment.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's minus 140, right?
Shay.
I thought minus was good when you came to betting, and plus was bad.
It depends how plus it is. If your plus is closer to 0, then you're good. But if you're minus, you're really good. But Shea should be moving down. Because he's been hurt lately, right?
That's what I said. He's missing games.
So I'm looking at it right now. I pulled it up. So Shea has the shortest odds at minus 145. Joker plus 300. Cade is actually plus 600. Wemby is plus 2,500. Jaylen Brown is plus 5,000. That's your play right there.
Possible?
That's your money play right there. Jaylen Brown plus 5,000.
Yeah, like I say, the thing about it is, I think Joker, he can only miss one more game or something before he's
literally
automatically
one more game. I think.
Yeah,
if Victor's got 4 games, he can only miss 4 more games.
Yeah, or somebody that
so
Shake.
That's not going to mess up Joker's money because he's made enough like all NBAs, right, to keep his money, right?
Oh yeah, that's not gonna mess the money up. I mean, plus like them horses keep running over there. Yeah,
That's right.
that's what he getting money from that. So it's like,
Yeah, but it's, dude, am I the only one that's like, man, what world are we living in where we talking about NBA tanking and guys can only miss so many games before they MVP and you know all this
Mhm.
stuff, bro? It's like, dude, what happened to the game that we love, bro? Like, did these
Yeah,
young dudes just like messed it up? Like,
No,
I'm
it's
just
yeah,
what
they
saying,
well,
also
you,
it's
I
they,
say it
they
all the time. Like they love the other stuff
yeah, they love
more than
everything but the
basketball.
game. Yeah, yeah.
They love what basketball brings them more than basketball. Back in the day, it was basketball first, other stuff came second. It was like basketball, and then endorsements. The celebrity. But now it's like they want the celebrity. They want to be on everybody's podcast. They want all that other stuff. And basketball takes the back burner. It's like, oh man, oh yep. Also, I gotta go play basketball now. You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's
It's
Yeah,
like
because
it's
think
so.
about
it's
it.
it's
that's the
funny.
AAU impact. That's that AAU impact where the
Yeah,
coaches
Mm-hmm.
realize how
Yep.
much money they can make off these kids doing the AAU circuit. So they started getting all the good players on this one travel team. Now
Mm-hmm.
everybody's buddies. Now it's all about, hey man, let me get some new sneakers. Let me get some swag. The game itself, fundamentals. I mean, Pete Newell's. Has anybody mentioned a big man camp in 20 years? Has
They
anybody
don't
mentioned
yeah,
this
exist. They
or
don't
yeah.
Texas?
exist,
No.
bro.
Mm-mm.
Dude, like I say, it's crazy to me because I started watching basketball in the 80s and it was like, okay, we knew the people in the 80s, they picked it up from people in the 70s, picked it up from people in the 60s, and it went to the 90s, and then it went to the early 2010s. And it was just like, what happened from like, did y'all not get the torch to carry the torch? Like, did y'all
No,
drop the torch and be like, you know what? It burnt my hand. I don't the flame was a
participation
little too
trophies,
hot.
Larry. That's when
Well,
we
no,
started
it's the
seeing
AAU
everybody get
coaches,
the trophy.
all that, and like I said, it's like you guys can disagree, but I mean, I just truly feel like the Stephs, the LeBrons, the Durants, these guys, those guys in that generation, they're the last guys who actually care more about basketball than the other
Hmm.
stuff. This
Yes.
No,
new generation of guys, they care more about the other stuff than basketball, and it's crazy to see what it's become in today's NBA, where it's like again, every player got a podcast. Every player is all and look, I'm not mad at social media, but it's like you see these things where like they put more effort into their social media posts and their TikToks than they do practice and stuff like that. It seems like, or
No.
they're making TikToks at practice, or they're
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Or they're tweeting their practice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
just it's crazy to me to like again where it's come where it's like I said they love the other stuff. They love the stuff that basketball gets them than basketball, and that's crazy. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
to me, it's like honestly, like Kevin. I know you guys might not, want to hear about it, but Kevin Durant almost looks like a weirdo because he's all about hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
It's not it's
he's the
not
weird one
all
because
about
he all he about is ball,
yeah,
like because he's
he's
the
all about
weirdo.
his
Yeah,
ball. He's the
yeah,
weirdo in the group, and it's like it's so odd to me. Like these
hmm
kids, they care. The big adage is always leave the game better than you found it, and
hmm
these kids don't. They won't.
no,
They're
hmm
Because
they're
they never heard that.
destroying the
They never
game for
heard
the
that
next
phrase, Larry.
generation.
Barry. They never heard that
Say it again.
phrase. They
They
never
they
heard that
probably.
phrase. Leave it better than you found it because that's what I was raised on, which is
Hmm.
the people who actually, when I got to a point, who were willing to invest in me, right,
Hmm.
as a young man. I'm like, why are you doing this? They said because I need to make sure that you can be better than me, that you have a better life than I had, that you don't have to
Hmm.
go through the struggles I went through, and you are supposed to do that for the next generation. That's what y'all doing for y'all kids. Y'all want your kids to have a better life than you had. That's why Steve
Yeah.
working 75 jobs all the time.
Hmm.
That's why Larry out here working 8 million. That's why Barry's always at work. That's why Sirius is still on the road. So his kids don't have to work all them doggone jobs. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So they have a work ethic. So they understand what it is. There's a
They
generation
don't.
that got missed in this, bro. Like we skipped that step. We skipped that step somewhere.
Big time. So it's awful that these kids are doing. Like they could care less about like the TV deal is going to get us 100 billion. That get 200 billion for the next generation. Nope, they don't care. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to do
Yep.
me. I'm about my brand. I'm about my shoes at the All Star game. I'm about me. I'm just about me. That's it.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part about it. So the NBA tied in things like all NBA and MVPs into
Mhm.
money, but they don't tie in games into money. when I
No.
say money, of course, if they
Mm-hmm.
miss games, they'll miss a game check or stuff like that.
Hmm.
But they don't say, okay, well, you only played 60 games, the last 3 years, so you don't qualify for the
Yeah.
supermax. Yeah, like they don't do that, and it's like, but that's how you sell your product by them being on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like they don't make no sense to me. It's like,
Ratings are down.
yeah, bro. It's like who wants
Rate,
to
yeah,
go?
ratings are down. I mean, but people like the new All Star game format though. It was the highest rated All Star game in
I
quite some
like it.
time. So
I
people
like
like
it.
the
Yeah, I
new
mean,
format.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, higher rating than garbage. Like anything higher than a 2 is great. What was the
I know
rating
what I
before
think
that?
about it.
Like I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't
You
watch it
couldn't.
I watched
either.
some of
I
it.
could. I couldn't follow the format.
That was what I
I couldn't
couldn't get.
understand that. Like I watched like 5 minutes. I'm like, whatever, dude. Where's Game of
That's what
Thrones?
I'm like, who
Please,
strikes,
I'd
who's
rather
wrong.
watch.
But
I'd rather watch that than this crap. I couldn't follow it.
the thing I
Yeah,
liked about
it's
it
just
was when you had the young players and they said Kareem went and talked to them. Some of them didn't know who the hell he was, right? But he talked to them and they took it to heart. And he's like, I might not know all your names, but I know your game. And I like your game. And these
Hmm.
kids, again, the young kids, actually like, oh my God. Once they Googled him and figured out who he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
that
I'm
he's
saying?
him.
But see,
yeah.
that's the other part of it is the teams are complicit in this because how many, again, I'm gonna date myself. I'm old enough to remember and when watching the Knicks, they would talk about um Sonny Vaccaro on the broadcast. And they would talk
Mhm.
about Red Auerbach on the broadcast. And they would talk about Bill Russell and Bob Cousy. And they would talk about Stan Albeck, all right, and Doug Moe, right? So they
R.I.P.
kept,
Doug Moe.
yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
kept the
yep.
connective
Mm-hmm.
tissue going. You go on the
Mm-hmm.
broadcast now, and these guys are referencing guys from this era. How about you reference Mahmoud Abdul Rauf when you're talking about Denver and Jamal Murray with a
Now
guy
you know why
scoring
they
like
can't mention my Abdul
okay,
Rauf.
okay, Alex English then. We'll say
Yeah,
Alex
yeah,
Yeah,
English,
yeah.
right?
You
We'll
know
say
why they.
Alex English.
You know why they won't
they
Alex
mention
barely
English,
mentioned me in the big three. He barely
right?
mentioned me.
Alex English,
Hmm.
Vandaway. How come Phoenix never talks about Walter Davis anymore? All right, you
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? When you listen to watching the games used to be an education because you
Yeah.
started hearing names of players like, well, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What happened to that?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Like I
different,
said,
man. It's
it's
different. The
sad, man.
game is not the same. Like
It's sad. I had to
give
Google.
me college basketball anytime, LG. Like
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
I
Kansas,
had to Google. I had to
Houston,
Google the guys in the dunk
Arizona,
competition.
Houston.
Like, who is
What's
these
that?
guys? I had
Like
to go Google who the
Yeah.
guys were in the dunk competition. Like, who
Yeah,
are the
that was
guys?
yeah.
ridiculous. That was
That I
ridiculous. Who
mean
the
that
hell
was
is
a
this?
Like I said,
disgrace.
I didn't
That was
watch
a
any of it,
disgrace.
but it was like I don't know, like it goes back to like you said, like leaving the game better than you found it. And it's like these guys don't care; they just care about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like in the words of Sean Carter, like I told you, so drugs. Hove did that. Hopefully, you don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Nah,
like
Hove didn't tell him about this. Hove didn't teach him
Holden tell
about
him
this
to do that.
block.
you
That his
know,
block worth 50 million more.
you
But
know.
yeah,
So
it's
it's
just,
like
I mean, they don't
could have
they
bought a
don't get it,
building in
and it's
Dumbo for 2 million. Now it's
yeah.
worth 50. How I feel
Yeah,
Dumbo.
it's
Yeah.
sad, man. Like I say, I didn't ever think that NBA because I love basketball. Basketball I actually love more than football, and basketball players have made me so sick of watching the game. Sometimes you can't even. It's unbearable. Like it's to the point now. Um, if you're like even a fundamentalist, like me, I used to like to see guys that actually play some type of defense, guys who like hey, get on the block. Let me see you, do these post moves. Let me see you, what's got like that was the thing for me. But now you don't see it anymore. It's just like guys who do the things that, like I say, my coach would have probably put me on the bench. Guys that come down the court and it's 5-on-1 and you jacking up a
Mm-hmm.
three. You'd have been on so
Yep.
far on the end of the bench, you wouldn't have played for 3 games or 4 games.
Ben
Like
Wallace
those
and
are
Dennis
things that
Rodman could not play in this NBA because no one respect the fact that they could damn rebound.
they would get
Oh no, yeah, they
87
be in they
rebounds
be in the
though
G League. They be in the G
because they
League.
shoot so many
So
shots.
tough.
Well, people get mad at him because they were like, oh, they only scored like 4 points a game, but he got 67 rebounds off all these brick
Well,
shots.
no. I mean, like Dennis Rodman in today's NBA, he would shoot like
No,
8, 9 threes a game.
yeah,
You know,
you would have
you
to.
know,
He would
Yeah.
have
You
He's
know,
not
he
to.
would
a
still
force of
he
habit.
would he would still he would still get the rebounds, but they'd be like, hey Dennis, like, you know, we need you. I mean, that's part of the strategy. And we need you to take
You a
these
3 and D
threes.
guy. You a
You know, we
3 and D
need you
guy.
to take these threes. We need you to, even though you can't shoot, we need you to take these 8, 9 threes a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. That's just
He
where
probably
it's
would
at
fall
now.
out too though, because he couldn't get handsy like that. It's like, no, wait a minute. What do you mean you put hands on me and playing defense? No, he would have fouled out. But yeah, dude, it's just like I say. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna say maybe they cooking something in the kitchen, these owners, and they'll figure out a way to make the game, enjoyable again. And it's not just for us. It's not for us, older players. It's just people that just love the actual game itself because it's a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd be shocked. They're gonna all be together in Vegas this summer, and I'd be shocked if anything of note comes out of it. I really do. I have
Yeah.
zero faith.
Yeah. They're
So
gonna have to do.
speaking of college basketball, before we get out of here, let's take a
Somebody's
quick.
number one. Some team is number one on Chapel Hill.
Dude,
No.
that was such an awesome game. I was mad that wasn't at like Cameron Indoor or in Michigan. Like it was at a neutral site,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean, it was
That,
crazy that
that,
you had a
that,
neutral site game like that late in the season. That's why I feel
Yeah,
like that
early.
added
Yeah,
some gravity to it. It's like, man, you don't get this. You know what I'm saying? This
I
late in the
know.
season. You know, so
But we had like some really good games on Saturday. Over like through the
mhm.
weekend and this week.
Arizona,
Like I
Houston
said,
was
like
very, very good.
Arizona, Houston was a banger. Duke, Michigan was a banger.
Yeah.
I mean, UConn, Villanova should have been a better game. We blew them out, but we about to get back on St. John's tomorrow, baby. What up? What up, though? What
And
up,
y'all gonna
though?
lose again.
We coming for y'all. We coming for y'all. But no, it was a great week for college basketball. Women's game was pretty good too. I'm glad that they're starting to get center stage as they start to head into the conference tournaments and into March Madness. So it's a great time of year. We've seen some really good basketball games.
Yeah,
I need
I'm
to I
actually
need to
watching
do
right
something.
now, man. Baylor's giving Arizona
Yeah,
all they can
the
handle right
business,
now.
the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Like you know what I
hmm
mean. Arizona hasn't been playing well down the stretch. Houston lost to Kansas.
Houston lost it.
You know
Houston
what
lost
Yeah,
again. Like
yeah.
it's just yeah.
I
So yeah.
mean?
Kelvin Sampson,
Dude,
choke your
once
dog. What can
I,
you say this
hey,
about
but
Darren
this
I
Peterson?
was waiting for
Here
that.
we go.
I
Here
was
we
there we
go.
waiting
go.
for
There we
that.
go. Was waiting for that.
hey,
There we
I
go.
can say this about Darren Peterson. I need
Oh
every
boy.
adult that's criticizing this young man to take a long walk off a short pier. I
I
do.
mean, some of it's kind
You
of
got
earned
40 and
though.
50. You got 40 and 50-year-olds trying to tell an 18-year-old how much he
Mhm.
cares about something when you ain't had conversation one with this young man. Now I blame Bill
Yeah.
Self for this, and y'all know I can't stand Bill Self. All right.
Is
Because
he
if
is he
Bill
back?
Self
Is he
doesn't,
is he back? Is he back coaching?
yeah,
Because
he's been in
he was
Kansas
in the
forever.
hospital, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but he should have stayed there. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like Bill Self. But
Oh, be
you
nice.
don't
Be
say that
nice. Be nice.
the way you said it. No, I ain't got to be nice to him. Screw him. Okay? Because he threw that young man under the
Don't think
bus.
you need to.
He threw him under the bus when he didn't have to. He didn't have to say it. He didn't have to say it the way he said it. So now you open the door for all these people to jump on this young man, and then you turn next to, well, that's not what I meant. You know exactly what the hell you said, bro. All right?
Mm-hmm.
If this kid has some health issues, he has health issues. I don't get to tell somebody how to manage their body. I don't get to tell no other human being how they should handle their health issues, especially some 18-year-old kid who's still trying to figure out who the hell he is. Oh, he don't love the game, and he don't deserve this, and he's terrible, and he's a quitter. Here's a
Yeah,
thought.
that
How
I
about
didn't.
you have
That
a
I didn't
conversation?
like. I didn't like that though.
No,
I didn't like
I
that.
didn't like that either.
Yeah, you don't do that to the guy, but you know what I'm gonna say, CK, and I'm not gonna absolve him either because we've seen it in football, and now we see it in basketball, where the NIL money you thought you were gonna get ain't what you thought
hmm
it was gonna get. So now
Yep.
you missing some games, and now you sitting out some, and like I said, so he a little bit of that is on him too, and
But no,
that's
again,
what.
he's 18, Larry, which means that he's got adults in his ear. All right. If you want to criticize somebody, criticize the adults that are
Well,
manipulating this young man.
Yeah,
Criticize
but if
them.
but
you took
it
that
happens
money,
in football
you
too.
took that money.
Huh?
hmm
Yeah,
You
we
made
see
it.
it in football.
You made an adult decision by taking the NIL money.
He made an
You know what
adult
I mean?
decision based on adults in his ear telling him where to go
Mm-hmm.
take the money. And who knows if he's even get some of the money, because we know some of these family members and stuff is basically using these kids as lottery tickets. What I'm saying is we don't know all the context involved before we start just saying he's at fault.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It's
we're
kind of
not
like
saying that he's at fault. We're saying that he has some. He has something to do with it.
It's accountability.
Accountability, I think, is the word you're looking for. Like, yeah.
Yes, there has to be full account for everybody, not just him.
Sure, no, but he's not blameless. Like, I'm not sitting here. I don't want to rip the kid, and I'm not saying it's all his. Everything that was said is not his fault. But like, I think it's 50-50. He's got to take a little bit of ownership of you signed the contract. You got to live up to that contract. You don't get to sit out when you just want to sit out because I'm not feeling this right now.
But here's the thing, Barry.
You know what I'm saying?
Nico, y'all know who I'm talking about, right? It came out that basically his father basically strong armed him in leaving Tennessee. Now we can say, he's an adult, That's his father, right? That's his father.
Mm-hmm.
If his father say jump, he jumping. How do we know that's not somebody doing that to Darren Peterson? Is all I'm saying. Now, at some point, Darren Peterson has to stand up for himself. But yeah, I can say that, but I'm not in his family dynamic. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting it on him. I'm not putting it on it, but I blame it on NCAA because NCAA they have to get NIL in order. It has to be in order.
Police this better.
It has to be because right now it's the wild west, right?
Yes.
But I'm just.
But they won't because then what they're gonna be like. This is what y'all wanted, right? This is what you wanted. Don't blame us. Y'all wanted this. So the NCAA ain't gonna do shit. They ain't gonna do anything because they're gonna be like, well, we tried to tell y'all.
They're gonna let it run rampant, like you say, Coach, and then they're gonna squeeze it so tight and bring it right back to where they have the advantage again. They'll never not have the advantage, and they're just gonna be like, to your point, you wanted them to get paid, we let them get paid. This is what we got, and now here we are. We got to control. We got to fix it. How can I fix the game in my favor again?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so like I said, I'm not killing it. I'm not gonna kill the kid, but if I'm put like this, and I'm just being for real, dude. I was making grown man decisions at 18.
So was I. But this again,
at some point you got to grow up.
Time, Larry. This is a different time.
Point you got to grow up. And I'm not.
Yeah, but dude, like I was at that age too, where it was almost like a 50-50 kind of thing where I was pretty much on my own. My parents were, 300, 400 miles away, and I had to make my own decision. My first decision, let me go get a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was on me. I'm being
Jerry, don't let me find out you got a tramp stamp.
Shut up.
How long did it take you to take your parents,
dude, like a couple months in, like not even a month or two in, I was like, well, my parents ain't here. I'm gonna go do what I want. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna make.
How long did it take you to tell them you got a tattoo?
Oh, I think I finally went home for Thanksgiving. So
no, because like my son didn't even tell us. It's like we seen this motherfucker with his shirt off one day and was like, "You got like 12 tattoos? Like what the fuck? Huh?
Yeah. He's making grown man decisions, but he's trying to hide it.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like you making that decision, but you also not living up to the contract. You got to honor the contract. I think that's what these kids have to understand. It's not you just take the money and then you get to do whatever you want. You're like, I'm paying you for a service. Your service is to get you behind on that court and play some ball. You heard?
Well, it's not even just that. That's what you got to think about it. It's a name, image, and likeness. So that means I'm quite sure in them contracts you got to make appearances. You got to be certain places. It's more in the hell. If your NIL deal is tied to this dealership, you better go in there and pick some cars or something. Because
that's the slight difference between them just straight out paying these kids like free agency or whatever like that. Name, image, likeness. Those three letters carry so much weight towards like, you got to do these appearances. You got to go to this dealership. You got to do this commercial. You got to sign these autographs. You got to meet with the alumni. You got to kiss the babies. You know what I'm saying? You got to shake the hands. That comes with it.
It's like if I'm paying you.
You know what I'm saying? With all that you just said, Steve, where's school in that? Where's resting in that? Where's practicing that?
In the words of Cardell Jones, that he ain't go to Kansas to play school. Okay,
they've been doing that. They've been doing all that. They just wasn't getting paid the crazy money to do it. they've been doing it, and
Yeah.
they're not in class like that. Like I say, why do you think their union is so bad, and these dudes graduate with like pool management degrees, and they graduate
Mm-hmm.
with like the degrees that they barely
Underwater
got to even show up to
basketball.
class for, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Underwater
don't
basket
get
weaving
me,
used to be a degree in California schools for college players. Underwater basket
yeah,
weaving. I kid you
yeah.
not.
I'm being for real. Like I'm not saying all of them like that because there's some guys that play and they doctors and lawyers and stuff like
Oh
that too.
yeah.
There are some real smart ones, but there are a lot of them that you probably don't even see them in class, and you know that they take their class with you. I'm just being for real. You probably never see them. You'll probably never see them turn in a paper a day in their life, but they on the roll and they're on the attendance.
But
And
they're
even,
attending
it's even worse,
online, Larry. Larry, they're doing online.
Yeah,
dude. It's even
online.
worse for
Yeah.
basketball players because they even said it before. If you're one and done, you basically don't even have to come to class because you're only there a semester,
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
the
Mm-hmm.
much.
rest,
Yeah.
one
the
semester,
second half of the semester, you ain't got to show up.
and you ain't gotta show up,
Yeah.
bro. So like, yeah, dude,
I
I
mean, and
get
this
it.
has been going on for how long? It's like my cousin, who's a little bit older than me, went to Texas A&M. There was a guy by the name of Dat Wynn who played for the Cowboys and stuff like that, linebacker. He was like,
Yep,
he seen Dat first two classes of that semester, didn't see him
That's
anymore. Saw him on the
it.
football field more than he saw him in class.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
So,
That's the
Hey,
It's
name of
bro.
like
the game.
freeing them, bro. I mean, we can go back. This has always been going on, but because of the advent of everybody's got a camera, everybody's got a microphone,
Yep.
everybody's trying to build their brand, everybody trying to make a dollar, right? Now it's all being exposed, and we seeing just how lost these damn kids are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now you're getting paid this 2 million to go do all the other stuff that you was doing already anyway for free. And I
Yep.
Yeah,
think,
but
like I
if you
said,
can't manage 2 million, and then you wind up without 2 million, and you ain't got a degree,
yeah, but see,
what good did it do?
it's almost like, and I'm not gonna say I'm not making this about a Dan Peterson. I'm just saying because you see it across all sports in NCAA because you see it in pro sports. It's that new, I'm gonna say that new mentality of they want to get paid but they don't want to do the work.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's the crazy part about it. Is like you want the NIL money, but then like you had an agent, and I'm quite sure your agent may not have went over everything with you in the deal, but you was like, oh yeah, you got to make 20 appearances. Yeah, they don't really mean that. Them dudes don't realize. Yeah, it really do mean that in order to get this money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I gotta show up and do an autograph signing on a Saturday. Man, I have video game playing for that day, but you gotta do it to get paid. And
I
they
was
be like,
supposed to do
no, I
Call
want
of
to go play
Duty, bro.
video games. That's not how they work. But and like I said, you see
Exactly.
it when they get to the
If I'm
pros.
paying you to wear Skechers all day, you better wear them damn Skechers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we see that in everyday life. I mean, how many times you go into a store and you hear somebody that's older complain about one of the young employees because they showed up and don't want to work, talking about, can I still get my check? No, you actually have to work the whole 8 hours, bro. You
yeah,
actually have to
Mm-hmm.
work the 8 hours. Just because you showed up don't mean you get paid.
dude. And like I say, you see it in the pros. So bad habits like that start somewhere, and seeing it in college, it's just carrying over, man. It's carrying over. You know, we even see it in the pros, especially with NBA dudes. It's like, bro, you sit out games, you barely want to play, but you know you eligible for that supermax. You sign the supermax, and then now you want to force the trade.
Joel
Come on
Embiid,
now,
anyone?
come
Joel
on
Embiid,
now,
anyone?
come on. Like I said, so the NCAA they gotta fix it because we need a better product. The good thing is that the NCAA, I'm gonna say basketball product, even with the one and dones, is a better product to me right now than the NBA.
Yeah.
You see a lot more. You see just a lot more like fundamental basketball. Maybe because NBA got a lot of like old school. College got a lot of old school coaches. With the NBA, you might be coaching today, and you might be so else tomorrow. You might be somebody who's cool with a guy. Y'all was on a podcast and you get hired as a coach. The NBA don't have a lot of those grizzled coaches like they used to. Well,
No, they
college
don't.
still got a lot of those real grizzled, old school, been coaching 30-year guys. So I don't know, but it's been some good basketball. Hey, Steve, I thought Iowa State was gonna be like a number 2 seed or maybe get a number 1. They got upset by BYU. That was a good game too.
Yep, that was. I mean, look, and just looking forward, and I just want to throw this out here before we get out of here, man. Like, look, y'all want to watch a really good basketball game this weekend? Saturday, Duke and Virginia. Be be
Virginia's number 11. Yep.
be seated for that one because guess who has the longest winning streak in ACC? Not Duke.
Virginia.
It's
Nope,
Virginia. They've won 9 in a row. They've been looking good. This is a Tony Bennett ass team with Tony Bennett not being there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know what I'm saying. But it's like I watched them the other night. They destroyed NC State. They won the fight and the basketball game tonight.
Yep.
I'm gonna give y'all a name, Steve. I'm gonna give you a name. Knight James Jr. He's gonna be the next in line to fill the Doc Rivers, Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler legacy coming out of Marquette. That kid's a monster.
But like I said, we talked about some good games last weekend, like Virginia Duke on Saturday. Be seated for that one because that one's gonna be an absolute banger. I'd be shocked if it's not. So
Yeah, man. We ain't even in March yet, man. We've been having some good games.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Tomorrow, though, we coming for you. You coming to the gamble.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. And you know, I ain't a huge Rick Pitino fan. This team, this is a really good St. John. This is one of the best St. John's teams since the Walter Berry St. John's teams.
They got the longest win streak since y'all made it to the Final Four, and St. John's is tough. They're a physically and mentally tough. They're a mentally tough team. So I really like watching them. UConn, they have peaks and valleys throughout games. If they have a valley too long against St. John's, they're gonna get their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like they have lulls. Like I don't like the point guard play right now at UConn. Silas is not taking care of the basketball. He was getting pressured against Creighton. And against we lost to the other day. So, yeah, like, dude, I don't like what I'm seeing, but when UConn is on, they're on. When they're off, they look really bad. You cannot be off against St. John's because St. John's is tough. They won't. What's his name? Okafor, the center.
Oh yeah, Zebi Ojefor. Yeah,
he is something, man. He's the anchor for that team, man. He's just
it's that time of year, guys, where we have to think about this. Like, I mean, like, is UConn a 1 seed?
No.
Yes.
Oh, they're a 2 seed. They're a 2
seed.
Not if
so one seeds are Duke. I mean, Michigan, even though they just lost. I mean,
Duke,
Arizona,
Michigan, Arizona, and I'll give you
who's that fourth 1 seed?
Houston.
You know, I would have said Houston, but since they lost like 2 straight, if
they win the tournament, they'll win. If they win the tournament,
yeah, they got to. I think they got to win the tournament.
BYU 1 seed before Houston. Personally, I think
BYU before Houston.
Yes, but y'all know
BYU didn't lost too many games.
BYU lost too many games.
Okay, but you know why.
That was my point.
Yeah, and what call it? Yeah. I thought Iowa State would, but they lost. They lost some crucial games. If they win, if they win the tournament, I think they'll be that other number 1 seed.
Whoever wins the Big 12 is gonna get a 1 seed.
Yeah, and I think
so like that just goes without saying. Yeah. Like I think whoever wins the Big 12 tournament will get the 1 seed. I mean, it's like somebody makes a Cinderella run.
I mean, right now, to be honest with you,
that's what I'm saying. Who's that fourth 1 seed? Who's that fourth 1 seed?
I wouldn't be shocked if it's Gonzaga.
Oh,
I wouldn't be shocked if it's Gonzaga. Because Gonzaga's going to run the rest of the table.
I think it's got to be Iowa State right now. Florida can sneak in if they have a good tournament run. UConn to me is a solid 2 seed in the South. Like they're right there. They're not going to be a 2 in the East. They're going to have to travel. And that's because they had a bad loss. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But I mean Gonzaga, I think they had a bad loss, but I think they can creep up too.
Yeah, they got a good matchup this weekend too. They pay.
I mean, because I mean,
that's gonna be good.
Are they too far down? Because like, could a team like I don't know, like a Texas Tech can find a way to win the Big 12?
Oh, Texas Tech is good.
That's a good team they got out in Lubbock. As much as I hate to admit it, that's a good team they got out there. And if they can find a way to win, they would probably have to beat Iowa State and either Houston or Arizona to win the Big 12 tournament. So it's like.
I think they can beat Iowa State. I don't know if they can beat Arizona.
Arizona's got size, man. They're tough. They're a tough team. I think they're mentally tough too. I mean, Houston would have been that fourth 1 seed if they didn't lose back to back. You know what I mean?
I mean, and that's why it's opened up for me because I had my top 4 seeds like kind of locked, and then like Houston's recent slide, I'm like, who's that fourth 1 seed now? Like I think that's a
I
big
think,
because I think we got the top as of right now. We got the 3 top seeds like locked and loaded. But who's that fourth
and,
seed?
and here's the thing too, Coach. Michigan to me is a lock for a 1 seed. It's just where they're going to go, right?
Yeah.
They could mess around and go to the South if they don't
Mm-hmm.
take care of business. If Purdue runs the table, Purdue
Ooh,
might get that 1 seed.
Purdue's another
That's what I'm
one, boy.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned Purdue at all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they run the table, they could sneak in and get that 1 seed. So I think to your point, the tournament
Mm-hmm.
might determine where I think Duke, Arizona, and Michigan are clearly
Mm-hmm.
one. Like Duke is one in the East, Arizona is one in the West, Michigan is one, and then I
In the
think the
Midwest or
South is
whatever like that.
yeah,
Well,
the
see, I
Midwest.
think because I think that and I think that pod like for the Midwest is like in either it's either in Indy or Chicago. So it's like they're not gonna resist sending Michigan to
yeah,
somewhere like Indy or
Yeah.
Chicago. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
saying?
no,
So
Would it
they'll
like
be there.
would it really be bad being a 2 seed with all these good teams?
actually, it depends on where
Depends
you
on
go.
it
where you
depends on
actually
where you
go.
go
And where
because
you
like
go, it's where you go.
if they put Houston like in the East with Duke, then I mean I don't really like that.
Mm,
But
man.
if they put Houston in the Midwest with Michigan or something like that, maybe I like that a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So
So
Yeah.
wait, so to me, the 1 seed is Duke. So
yeah, Duke is one overall. Yes.
Duke would have to get the fourth 2 seed. So
Mm-hmm.
that could be like a Purdue, that could be possibly a UConn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Arizona is no Michigan would be the
The
two
two.
1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So they would get the 7th seed, right? And back down. So the South would have the fourth one and the first two. So
South is
to
going to
your
be a hard
point,
region.
yeah,
Yeah.
to your point, the South could
Mm-hmm.
be where you would want to slot in if you're a 2 seed. That's why I see UConn going as a second, like a number 1 2 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like they could go to the South because they
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
go. They wouldn't be in Duke if they go to Duke's bracket. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
Like
wouldn't like
Duke,
that either. No.
Duke should get the lowest 2 seed as
But
it stands right now.
the upsets are going to come out of the South because there's going to be some good teams in the South that people don't realize are good, and they're going to knock some teams off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like Miami, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
like them. I
by the
mean,
way, why is Miami, Ohio ranked higher? I'm sorry, bro. Come on.
because it's the
Because
MAC.
they
It's the
don't
MAC.
play anybody.
It's the
It's
MAC.
the MAC.
It's the MAC.
It's the MAC.
It's the MAC.
But
You know what I'm saying?
that's so
Same reason why I really like that St. Louis team, but it's like it's the A10. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
but the
you know,
Miami, Ohio is going to mess
too,
around
bro.
and get into a bracket, and they're going to mess up people's turn. They're going to
Yes,
mess
they
around
are.
and
yeah.
Yes,
they
they are.
got, you know what I mean? So
This Miami Ohio team reminds me of that really good Dayton team that like COVID like kind of
yes,
messed them up. They were
yes,
like
yep.
where like Obi Toppin and those guys was like, man, I thought they were the
Mhm.
best team in the country that year, and then the COVID
Yeah.
had other plans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, but that Miami team reminds me a lot of that Dayton team.
Mhm. Yep.
Hey,
But it's
serious.
a big tournament.
Your boys,
Men's
your boys got a tough little matchup this weekend too, man. Hey, they
Yeah.
can't afford to be taking too many more L's over there.
No,
You know,
No, but
ain't
they
good.
they just blew out Syracuse, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
everybody
we
knows
got-
They
Syracuse,
beat
bro.
them, but it
They
was
beat-
Syracuse.
We lost. We blew out Syracuse, beat Louisville. We got Virginia Tech this weekend.
That's going to be a tough game.
Be a tough
It's a
one.
tough
Yes.
game, man.
Yeah,
This-
still
this-
we got Virginia Tech, Clemson, and then we shut it down those days.
Yeah, man, Virginia Tech get the shooting that ball, man. It's like they can beat just about anybody when Virginia Tech is hot. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hey, Aaron, me
Yeah.
and CK was talking about it, man. But hey, does Hubert C start getting a little warm over there, man?
Yes.
Got to. Got
Little
to.
bit,
He can't
little bit,
recruit.
little
He
bit.
can't recruit,
Yeah.
bro.
I don't
Can't
know.
recruit.
Is it because Duke's doing so good? Yeah, you know what I
Nah,
mean?
but
No,
it's-
I mean it had nothing to do with Duke. It has everything to the
It's
fact
'cause he
that
can't recruit. He can't
You
recruit,
can't-
bro.
you
Well,
can't
they
lose.
just got a kid. They just got a kid.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
but
just
he's
got him.
replacing Caleb Wilson. The kid they got is going to replace
He's
Caleb
like
Wilson. What I'm
one.
saying is this. He needs
You
to have
can't
three
lose
or
to
four of them.
NC State like this. You can't lose to NC State. They got beat the hell up versus
Yeah.
NC State. You can't
Yeah.
lose to California and Stanford in the manner in which they did. Like just looking at the losses this year alone, not counting what happened last year. Yeah, that seat is getting super warm.
Yeah, it's getting warm, and then you got to remember now, and this is something that like, you know, you guys know I love the business side of this thing too, where it's like, look, they're trying to build a new stadium, they're
Right.
trying to replace the Dean Dome,
Yes.
and they want these big money donors to come in here. the standard at Carolina is so high to where it's like, if you want these people to invest all this money in building this brand new pretty stadium, they need more. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
haven't. They
This
haven't
is this
been
is
North
this is not the
Carolina.
standard at Carolina. And
Yeah,
and
they
and,
haven't
and
been
guess
North
who knows
Carolina
that?
in 20
Hubert
years.
Davis knows that. He knows
But
that he is not coaching up to the standard that is at Carolina. And if you want these people to, because guess what? Football's getting all the money now. Who would have ever thought that at North Carolina football's getting all the money
because
and not basketball?
his personality isn't suited for that program. He's a good coach. He's a good
Mhm.
coach. He's not a great coach. He's a really good coach. Hubert Davis would be better at a mid-major because even his personality doesn't suit bringing in the donors. You want somebody that the donors, oh my God, that guy's a fireman. I love him. Hubert's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you.
Mhm.
That's just who he is. I'm not knocking him. He's just a really calm, mild-mannered dude, man. And when you're talking about trying to build a new arena, is he really the guy that's gonna galvanize the boosters? I don't know.
Exactly, and that's why that's why I'm worried about Hubert Davis' job, because, like I said, like, just everybody who I've talked to down there with ties to the Tar Heels is just like, they want a new arena because the Dean Dome, while it was revolutionary when they first built it, it's showing its age. The girl
Right.
has seen better days, and it would cost them just as much to renovate the Dean Dome as it would to build a new stadium. So they're like, why
Right.
don't we just build a new stadium? But new stadium, you need that money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if the donors aren't 100% behind Davis, and I don't see why they would be 100% behind Davis with, with the current state of Carolina basketball. Like, it's just some got to shake in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse, but yeah, I definitely agree with
I'm
you.
Yeah,
not sure
it
how
could be
much.
worse, but it's like the Carolina standard is here.
That's what I'm
Like,
Yeah,
saying. I'm not sure how
other
much.
schools can other schools would be happy to be to another 20-win season for the Tar Heels, another tournament. That's okay at other schools, not at North Carolina.
No.
well, they're
When's the
not a
last time
blue
they were
blood
number one
like my
seed?
Huskies, so I don't know
Oh,
what.
come on, let's not
Here
do
we go with
that.
this.
Hey, put some respect on. You
No,
got
let's put some respect on North Carolina. North Carolina is a blue blood when it comes to college basketball. Let's
no,
let's not do
absolutely.
it. Yeah,
But
yeah.
so, UConn's a blue blood in college basketball. Let's be
UConn's a
real.
We
new
weren't
blood.
talking
They're
about
not a blue
UConn. It's
blood.
like you
No,
brought UConn up.
I'm talking
We
about
were talking about
UConn.
North
I'm
Carolina.
talking
But
UConn. UConn. You.
I'm
You know,
sorry. His mic.
see why his mic cut out
His
there? His
microphone.
mic cut out because I was trash.
What happened?
So
Because
something happened
that
to
was
his
trash.
microphone.
What
Villain, are
happened?
you back? You back?
Yeah, I mean,
And see,
things
you
Okay.
said
randomly
he's
Just
talking,
making
you
sure.
can't go
disappear.
drop a random
no,
name.
man, it's like there's been all those crazy winds and all that snow up there in Connecticut, man.
Right. Yeah. I
We
just
lost
said
you
Yeah,
for a little
But
something.
bit
yeah,
there, man.
and
Like,
basketball wins. Basketball wins.
yeah.
My
Watch it.
Lady Huskies undefeated. We can't be
Ooh,
touched. We can't be tolerated.
they funneling cartel money for women's basketball.
We
You
got we
can't.
got basketball and pizza. Holla at you, boy.
Look,
That's what we the capital.
That's right. But
Of.
South Carolina women are still a class of college basketball at this point. They still a
No,
class.
UConn is be
Okay, bro.
respectful.
Listen, mess around and play UCLA with them Bet sisters. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to the women's
Okay.
bracket too. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm looking forward to the women's bracket. That's gonna be good to
I
watch.
mean,
But let me get
listen,
you guys.
UConn is it. UConn is it. Let's go.
He's
Okay, bro.
crazy.
But no, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait for conference tournaments,
Bro,
man.
It's
this
gonna be
I'm
fun.
just saying, the South Carolina women better worry about the Texas women in the SEC.
That
bro, they
that
but see, they
line.
beat
That's
them
right.
already. They can
That's
beat
right.
them. Because what's her name? The African girl. She started to shoot threes now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Oka, was it Oka or something like that? But this men's tournament and women's tournament, this is the first time I'm excited for both tournaments at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
probably in 5 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
because I
Can't
think
wait.
last
It's
year
a
we were
fun
all
time.
more excited for the women's bracket than we were the
Yeah.
men's bracket.
We were.
Yeah, because we were trying to figure out who's gonna go where, and
Mhm.
we had FUD, we had South Carolina, we had USC.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good teams last year. So, and we still do. We still got some really good, exciting teams in the women's game, and it's gonna be fun. In the men's game, I think we have the top teams out there, but like don't sleep on Nebraska, right? Don't
There
sleep
you
on
go.
Florida.
Oh, that
Florida's
Nebraska
coming,
teams. I watched them a little bit the other day. That
And
Nebraska team's
Michigan
pretty
State,
good.
we know Michigan State's gonna make it the Elite Eight because that's
Yep.
just what they do.
Yep. Don't sleep on them. Alabama's still there. Like
man, you
BYU's
know,
got the exciting freshmen, so it's going to be fun this year. It's going to be fun.
I don't even think I want to make a bracket this year.
I'm gonna
I'm
make
so
a
tired of my bracket being bust. I'm so tired of my
Yeah, we
bracket
know.
being
You know
busted.
we're doing one. You know the executives doing one. Tell your
We're
friends to
doing
get
this,
in.
yeah. So
We're doing one
get
this year.
ready.
I'm a win it.
Bro.
Mm,
It's like a.
Look,
I'm glad.
if you
I'm
come
glad
for the
everything's
king, if you
digital
come for
now.
the king of the brackets, you best not miss. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
So
I'm,
like,
look, I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm glad that it's on digital now because I got tired of throwing away my paper bracket like week one. I mean the
nah,
first
man, I used to
game.
love being able to like the
I
crumple
still,
up
I
the
still,
bracket and throw it in the trash. I used
I,
to love being able
I
to do that.
still
Like,
do
yeah,
my bracket. I got my green highlighter and my red highlighter. I still do my bracket on
Man,
paper. I don't
oh
miss
man,
it.
what you need two highlights for? Because all you marking is UConn. That's all you
But yeah, you
marking.
still need the
well,
teams
you
that they're
still need
gonna
like,
whoop.
yeah, win,
You,
lose, or whatever. Like
win,
that.
win.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you still got
he
that whoop that team that we got whoop on. You know what I mean?
he ain't even marking nothing else off. But yeah, dude, like I say,
With that
that's
being said, let me get
Yeah, I
you
know,
guys
right?
out
Like,
of here. Let me
yeah,
get you
we
guys out of here before we really go off the rails.
it
CK, man, thanks for coming by and joining us, man. Give us a plug and a close it, shut it down, big homie.
was a lot of fun. It's snow coming pretty much, I guess, for everybody at this point. Be careful in the snow. If you got a shovel, take breaks, hydrate, dress warmly,
Mhm.
and if you're over a certain age, listen, put the damn shovel down. Go find that 17-year-old who just want to smoke weed. Give him $40, right,
got.
and a bag, and go on get the dry. Go on get the snow shoveled up, man. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Then stop being out there.
Right.
Come back to my back. You ain't got time for that. All right.
Ah,
Put the shovel down and go pay the kid down the block. That's all I got, yo.
appreciate you, big dog, man. Thanks for coming by, kicking it with us, man. Coach, you know what to do. Get us out of here, big homie.
All right, man. Like, again, total sports, man. Like, this is what we do. This is what we love to do, and we love to do it for you guys. Facebook, X, Spotify, Instagram. Make sure you see us. We got shorts here and there, everywhere. Orange and Blue Skies, Launchpad, Backstage Business tomorrow. Some other stuff in the works. Be quiet on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a lot of stuff. That we trying to cook up for you guys. Look, man. Y'all know how I close it out. God is good.
All the
All the
time.
time.
Make sure y'all hydrate. Make sure y'all drink y'all water. Especially in these winter months, like Unc said, like even though it's cold, stay hydrated. And of course, last but not least, under 27 inches of snow, but Staten Island, stay strong, baby. Woo, 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 woo. Wu Tang is for the children. I see y'all.
Appreciate you, big dog, man. Can't wait to
And
share space with
who
him,
lost a
man.
member today, man?
Ooh.
Woo, they lost a member today.
Yeah, they did. They did. They
Yeah.
did. They did. They did. Talk to me, Larry. Get us out of here, big dog.
Hey, man, you know what? It's always a pleasure, man. Be on, like I say, be on the lookout for everything. We're gonna try to get y'all boys some more MMA, some more boxing content, man. It's starting to heat up. It's starting to heat up. I don't know if anybody heard the news that we're looking at like we're gonna get a Pacquiao Mayweather too. I don't know how this gonna be. They might need to pass out the Bengay and and the geriatric juice. We'll see, man. But we got some stuff we cooking up, man. Like I say, it's always a pleasure, man. I'm gonna get y'all boys out there because I know y'all hour ahead and I am. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, big dog, man. Thanks for coming by, kicking it with us. Velen, you know what to do. Get us out of here, big dog.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Power from Wu Tang, the man
Yeah.
behind the scenes, making the big deal. So I heard about that not too long ago. So rest in peace, rest in power to Power. But listen, we got shows all week. Launchpad had a great show last night. Total Sports Podcast tonight. Obviously, tomorrow we got the backstage business. We will be recapping the Elimination Chamber as soon as it's over. So follow us there. Watch us on Saturday night. We'll be the instant reaction to that PLE as we head into WrestleMania season. Coach said we got a lot of shows that we're cooking up, so having a lot of fun there. And listen, be safe. Like Unc said, I wish my kids just took a shovel and walked around the neighborhood, man. Get some money, man. So I don't know what
Right,
they're
yeah.
doing, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean. But be safe. Make sure you check on your loved ones and make sure that they're safe as too. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.
Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you, man. Yo, it's your boy Sears up in that 412 and the 703, man. Such a privilege and absolute pleasure doing this show with these gentlemen on tonight, man. I normally close out my show or these shows a different way, but I would be remiss if I didn't pay respects to Rondell Moore. another athlete that succumbed to mental health and took his own life, man. I know CK always talks about it, but a gentleman, of this age, again, we don't know what's going on, but we always say this, man. If you need somebody, reach out to somebody. Pound 988 as the number and all that sort of stuff, man. We want to make sure everybody gets, to the other side of whatever they're dealing with, man. With that being said, I always close out my shows like this. God is good, even though sometimes people are not, man. God bless. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.